MEMS as a microactuators. So basically MEMS actuators on electrostatic force to provide their actuation. Electrostatic MEMS actuators may have their electrodes configured either as comb driver or as a parallel plates. An actuator is a control device that makes something move. So actuators use input energy and release output energy in a controlled manner, and mechanical actuator act upon something and move it with force or torque. The process of micro movement is called microactuation. And microactuators are light in weight, comfortable and precision devices. There are many types of actuators based on the type of output energy released, based on the way output energy is released, based on the input energy used. So actuators are transducers. That means it converts one form of energy to another form. And actuators usually convert input energy into controlled mechanical energy. So micro actuator produce motions over small distances. It is of the order of microns to millimeters. Then it produce small forces, and also it produce motion and force in entities of small sizes. Application of micro actuators. It is used in printing application, actuation of micro mirrors to scan laser beam, driving of cutting tools for microsurgical application, optical signal switching, etc. MEMS as a microsensor. As I mentioned earlier, microsensors detect change in the system's environment by measuring mechanical, thermal, magnetic, chemical, or electromagnetic information. And this information is processed by microelectronics and signals the microactuators to react and create some form of changes to the environment. Sensors measure something which we call a measurement. So there are lots of sensors. Some of the MEMS sensors are MEMS accelerometer, MEMS gyroscopes, MEMS pressure sensor, MEMS magnetic field sensors, etc. So MEMS accelerometer is, these sensors are used in smartphones for various control, includes switching between landscape and portrait mode, then anti-blur capture and pocket mode operation. There are generally two types of MEMS accelerometer. One is variable capacitive and piezoresistive. Variable capacitive MEMS accelerometers are the lower range, high sensitivity devices used for structural monitoring and constant acceleration measurements. And piezoresistive MEMS accelerometer are the higher range, low sensitivity devices used in shock and blast application. Next is MEMS gyroscope. These detect the angular displacement of an object. MEMS gyros are used for vehicle stability control. And also it is used in automotive, rollover prevention and airbag systems, image stabilization, and have many other potential applications. Next sensor is MEMS pressure sensor. These sensors are used in automotive, industrial, medical, defense and aerospace applications. Next is MEMS magnetic field sensors. It is a small scale micro electromechanical system device for detecting and measuring magnetic fields, that is magnetometer. Many of these operate by detecting effects of the Lorentz force, a change in voltage or resonant frequency may be measured electronically, or a mechanical displacement may be measured optically. Next one is flux gauge sensor. These find many application in space research, mineral prospecting, automation, and industrial process control. So microsensors have the advantage of being sensitive and accurate with minimal amount of required sample substance. They are primarily employed to observe the temporal effects of the environment and subsequently to calibrate the observed values in order to produce meaningful information. And sensors vary from simple to highly complex. So basically, sensors are also transducers which converts one form of energy to another form. That is, sensors usually convert a measure into an electrical quantity. So comparison of ICs versus MEMS. So MEMS are 3D complex structures, whereas IC is a 2D structure. And MEMS doesn't have any basic building blocks. In IC, transistor is basic building block. MEMS may have moving parts. In IC, there is no moving parts. MEMS may have interface with external media. In IC, it is totally isolated with media. MEMS functions include biological, chemical, optical. IC is only electrical. And MEMS packaging is very complex, and IC's packaging techniques are very well developed.